Hello mga sisi! Welcome back to my channel! Now before we start, please don't forget to subscribe to Root and Stitch, like our videos, and if you have any questions or requests, just leave a message on the comment box below. So, today ang gagawin natin ay Cinderella inspired baby dress. Ito yung mga gagamitin natin, pati yung type of yarn. Okay? So, first off, we have to make a slip knot using the sky blue yarn and then make 75 foundation chains. Now, I'll put on the description box below kung ano yung mga adjustments sa foundation chain depende sa size na gusto nyo gawin. Okay? So, after ng ating 75 foundation chain, we're going to start with row 1. Starting from the third chain from your hook, make 1 double crochet on each stitch for the first 10 stitches. So, kailangan natin gumawa ng 10 double crochet. Now, after ng 10 double crochet natin, dun sa 11th chain natin, maglalagay tayo ng corner stitch. So, ang corner stitch natin for this project would be 2 double crochet plus chain 1 plus another 2 double crochet all on the same stitch. Now, after na ating first corner stitch, maglalagay tayo ng 1 double crochet on each stitch for the next 12 chains. So, after na ating 12 double crochet, doon sa susunod na stitch, maglalagay ulit tayo ng corner stitch. Again, that's 2 double crochet plus chain 1 plus another 2 double crochet all on the same stitch. Now, after na ating second corner stitch, maglalagay tayo ng 1 double crochet on each stitch for the next 25 chains. So, after na ating 25 double crochet, maglalagay tayo ng ating third corner stitch, which would be still 2 double crochet plus chain 1 plus 2 double crochet all on the same stitch. Now, after nating corner stitch, maglalagay ulit tayo ng 12 double crochet on the next 12 chains. And then, after that, gagawin natin yung ating ika-fourth and last corner stitch para sa row na ito, which would still be 2 double crochet plus chain 1 plus another 2 double crochet all on the same stitch. And then, maglalagay tayo ng 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang sa natitira nating chains. So, that would be 10 double crochet. Now, for row 2, we're going to chain 2, turn, and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang marating natin yung ating chain 1 space. Now, pag narating natin yung chain 1 space natin, maglalagay tayo ng corner stitch. So, again, that's 2 double crochet plus chain 1 plus another 2 double crochet all on the same stitch. So, dun mismo sa chain 1 natin siya ilalagay sa loob ng chain 1 space. Now, after ng ating first corner stitch, maglalagay tayo ng 3 double crochet on each stitch hanggang marating natin yung susunod na chain 1 space. So that's 3 double crochet on each stitch. Mula dyan hanggang doon sa stitch bago mag-chain 1 space. So natapos na natin yung 3 double crochet on each stitch. So nandun na naman tayo sa chain 1 space. Maglagay ulit tayo ng corner stitch. So that's 2 double crochet plus chain 1 plus 2 double crochet all on the same stitch. And then after that, ibabalik natin ng 1 double crochet on each stitch. Hanggang marating natin yung susunod na chain 1 space. So narating natin yung ika-third na chain 1 space, maglalagay ulit tayo ng corner stitch. So that's 2 double crochet plus chain 1 plus another 2 double crochet all on the same stitch. Now after na ating third corner stitch, gagawin ulit natin yung 3 double crochet on each stitch kagaya dun sa kabilang side hanggang marating natin yung pinaka last na chain 1 space. So ulitin lang natin yung 3 double crochet on each stitch hanggang marating natin tong side na to. So natapos na natin at nandito na tayo sa pinaka last na chain 1 space. Maglalagay ulit tayo ng corner stitch. So alam na natin yung corner stitch dyan, kung anong gagawin natin. And then after ng last corner stitch, lalagyan lang natin ng 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang marating natin yung pinaka last stitch ng row. Now after row 2, from row 3 to row 6, ang pattern natin ay chain 2, turn, and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang marating natin yung chain 1 space. So pag narating na natin yung chain 1 space, maglalagay lang ulit tayo ng corner stitch. So, same pa rin yung corner stitch natin, ha? And then, after that, maglalagay lang tayo ulit ng 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang marating natin yung second na chain 1 space. And then, pagdating natin dun sa chain 1 space, maglalagay lang ulit tayo ng corner stitch. Now, uulitin lang natin itong same pattern all throughout ng row 3 to row 6. So, 1 double crochet on each stitch lang tayo except for the chain 1 space where we're going to put the corner stitch. So, nandito na tayo sa pinaka third chain 1 space. At lalagyan lang natin siya ng corner stitch. Medyo dikit-dikit lang siya yung stitches natin. So, kailangan lang natin hanapin yung chain 1 space. And then, 1 double crochet on each stitch ulit. So, nandito na tayo sa pinaka fourth chain 1 space. So, magko-corner stitch ulit lang tayo. And then, after that, 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang sa dulo ng row. So, again, gagawin natin tong same pattern na to mula row 3 hanggang row 6. But, if you want na mas malalim yung armhole, pwede nyo gawin to hanggang row 8. So, after ng row 6, start natin ang row 7, chain 2, turn, and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang marating natin yung first chain 1 space. Once na narating na natin yung first chain 1 space, i-fold natin siya so it will be parallel o katapat niya yung second chain 1 space. And what we're going to do is stitch them together using a double crochet. So, stitch natin sila together dun sa chain 1 space. Maglalagay tayo ng isang double crochet. So, that would create our armhole. Magagawa na natin yung manggas. Yan siya. And then, after that, tuloy lang natin yung 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang marating natin yung third na chain 1 space. And then, uulitin lang natin yung ginawa natin para makreate natin yung armhole. So, pag narating natin yung chain 1 space, third chain 1 space, fold ulit natin. And then, stitch natin sila together with the fourth chain 1 space. After that, i-continue lang ulit natin yung 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang marating natin yung dulo ng row. Now, uulitin lang natin tong same pattern. For row 8 to row 14, maglalagay lang tayo ng, first we're going to start with chain 2, turn, and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang sa dulo ng ating row. So this is from row 8 to row 14. Now after row 14, pag na-complete na natin yung row 14 natin, to start row 15, chain 1, and then make 1 single crochet on each stitch hanggang sa dulo ng row. Once narating na natin yung dulo ng row, what we're going to do is connect the two ends. Magsi-slip stitch lang tayo on top of that first single crochet. We're going to connect the two ends. And then, ang gagawin naman natin ay yung lace. So, chain 200. And then, after ng chain 200, magsi-slip stitch lang tayo on each of the chains para makabalik tayo dun sa pinakadulo sa first chain na ginawa natin. So, once nakabalik na tayo dun sa pinakadulo, slip stitch natin siya sa pinaka-base ng stitch. And then, we're going to make another lace using the same pattern. So, chain 200 ulit, and then slip stitch going back to the first chain. Now, once na-complete na natin yung ating two lace, slip stitch natin ulit siya doon sa pinaka-base ng ating stitch. And then, we're going to start our skirt. Now, dito, mag-work lang tayo sa back loop ng ating stitch. So, chain 2, and then make 2 double crochet on each stitch, but only on the back loop. So, kung makikita nyo, back loop lang ako naglalagay ng stitch. So, that's 2 double crochet on each stitch. Now, after nating ma-complete yung first row ng ating skirt, kapag natapos na natin siya, ang gagawin natin ay i-connect natin yung two ends, slip stitch natin siya on top of that first double crochet stitch. And then, chain 2. Now, from row 2 to row 20 ng ating skirt, gagawin lang natin ay 1 double crochet on each stitch until the end of the row, and then slip stitch to connect the ends. So, pagdating lang sa dulo, slip stitch lang natin on top of that first double crochet to connect. And then, uulitin lang natin to hanggang matapos natin yung 20 rows. O kung gusto nyo mas mahaba, pwede kayong magdadag ng additional rows. So, after row 20, i-connect ko na yung pinaka-last row. And then, chain 2, gagawin natin yung ruffles sa dulo. So, we're going to just use the back loop again of the stitch. And then, we're going to make 2 double crochet on each stitch. Originally, gagawin ko sana siyang 3 double crochet on each stitch. Pero, medyo kinulang tayo sa yarn. And, mas maganda naman siyang tingnan ng 2 double crochet lang siya on each stitch. So, gagawin lang natin yan para it will create a ruffles dun sa pinaka dulo ng ating skirt. So, uulitin lang natin to hanggang marating natin yung dulo ng ating row. So, after nating matapos, i-connect lang natin ulit yung dalawang dulo. Slip stitch on top of the first double crochet. And then, lock and cut the excess yarn. Now, gagamitin natin yung white yarn natin. Make a slip knot. And then, look for that last stitch of the previous row. And then, i-utilize natin o gagamitin natin yung nakalabas na front loop slip stitch natin siya. And then chain 1. And what we're going to do is we're just going to make 1 single crochet on each of the front loop na natira doon sa ating 20th row. So, paikot yan ng buong skirt natin, yung front loop. And then connect after and lock and cut the excess yarn. So, gagawin natin ngayon naman ay yung design ng ating skirt, yung ilalagay natin sa dalawang sides. So, make a slip knot using the white yarn and then chain 10 to make a ring and then slip stitch natin siya doon sa first chain. So, ganito ang magiging itsura niya. Now, after that, chain 2 and then make 12 double crochet inside the ring. So, ang gagawin natin ay unfinished circle siya or pie. Parang 7-8 na pie ang gagawin natin. So, after row 1, chain 2, turn, and then make 2 double crochet on each stitch until the end of the row. So, paikot hanggang ma-complete natin yung ating pinaka-last double crochet. Now, after ng ating row 2, to start row 3, chain 2, turn, and then make 2 double crochet on the first stitch, and then 1 double crochet on the next stitch. So, baling ginagawa natin ay increased on the first stitch and then 1 double crochet on the next stitch. So, uulitin lang natin tong same pattern na to hanggang marating natin yung ating dulo or last stitch of the row. Now, for row 4, mag-chain 2 ulit tayo, turn, and then make 2 double crochet on the first stitch, and then on the next 2 stitches, make just 1 double crochet on each stitch. So, bali, ang ginagawa natin ay increase on the first stitch, then 1 double crochet on the next 2 stitches. So, ulitin lang natin tong same pattern na to hanggang marating natin yung dulo ng ating row. Now for row 5, chain 2, turn, and then increase or 2 double crochet on the first stitch, and then on the next 3 stitches, 1 double crochet on each stitch. Now, nilagay ko na dito sa side kung ano yung magiging interval ng ating increase for each row. So, yan lang yung susundin natin. For row 6, increase, then 4 double crochet on each stitch for the next 4 stitches hanggang mabuo natin yung pie. So, kung makikita nyo, ito yung ating 6th stitch or 6th row. So, sa 6th row, ang maging interval ay increase and then 4 double crochet on each stitch. And then, ulitin lang hanggang sa pinakadulo. So, yan. Pag natapos na natin yung row 9, lilinitin natin yung edging, so chain 1, and then doon sa side, maglalagay lang tayo ng single crochet, papunta doon sa gitna ng ating ring. So, pag narating na natin yung gitna ng ring, maglalagay tayo ng 4 single crochet doon sa ating ring. And then, i-continue lang natin yung single crochet stitch hanggang marating natin yung kabilang side. So, once na natapos na natin siya, i-lock, and then make sure you leave at least 8 to 10 inches of tail. Gagamitin natin siya para i-attach doon sa hips. So, di ba sa hip side natin, meron tayong front loop na naiwan. Doon natin siya itatahi. Susungkitin lang natin siya ng paganyan. And then, stitch nyo using the needle. So, make sure ang sinusungkit lang natin ay yung front loop at hindi natin itinatahi sa loob kasi baka ma-stitch natin yung pinaka-hips. So, yung ring nandun sa pinaka-side. And then, ganyan yung magiging itsura niya. Gagawin lang natin siya on both sides. So, just use the same pattern to make another piece for the other side. Now, we're going to make the sleeves. So, make a slip knot using the sky blue yarn. And then, look for the armpit stitch o yung stitch dun sa may kilikili. Slip stitch natin. Now guys, medyo nagkaroon ako ng problema sa recording ng video. So, I just made sure na nilagay ko yung written pattern sa side. So, just check the video. Okay? So, after nating slip stitch, chain 2. And then, what we're going to do on the first row is make a decrease all around row 1. So, that's 2 double crochet together all throughout ng ating row 1, paikot. So, magdi-decrease na tayo. And then, once na-complete natin yung ating first row, i-connect lang natin yung 2 ends by using a slip stitch. Then, dito tayo nagkaroon ng problema sa recording. So, yung row 2 at saka row 3, chain 2 lang siya, turn, and then 1 double crochet on each stitch lang. And then, connect the ends. Now, for row 4, itong nakikita nyo sa video, chain 2, and then just make 1 half double crochet on each stitch all throughout row 4, and then slip stitch to connect the ends, and lock, and cut the excess yarn. Now for row 5, we're going to use the white yarn. So make a slip knot using the white yarn. And then look for that last stitch na ginawa natin sa previous row. And then i-slip stitch natin siya doon. And then chain 1, or you can chain 2. Now make 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet on each stitch, until the end of the row. So, paikot siya. Pag na-complete na natin siya, i-connect lang yung two ends by doing the slip stitch, lock, and cut the excess yarn. So, hindi ko na napakita yung kung paano lock, but I'm sure you can do it by your own. So, now we're going to clean the edging doon sa ating back. Make a slip knot using the sky blue yarn. And then, slip stitch natin siya doon sa tabi ng lace natin. And then, basically, what we're going to do is just make single crochet doon sa ating back edging papunta sa ating neck, shoulder, and then neck, and then pababa doon sa kabilang side. So isi-single crochet lang natin siya para malinis yung ating edging. And then i-slip stitch nyo lang to connect the ends. Then lock and cut the excess yarn. So now I'm going to do the headband. So to start, make a slip knot and then chain 45 for the headband. And then starting from the third chain from the hook, make 1 half double crochet on each stitch hanggang marating natin yung pinakadulo. So once narating natin yung pinakadulong chain, maglalagay tayo doon ng 3 half double crochet. So that's 1, and then 2, and 3. So this will allow us to turn on the other side of the chain. So after that, pabalik lang natin. Maglalagay lang tayo ng 1 half double crochet ulit, pabalik doon sa kabilang side naman, para ma-complete natin yung kabilang dulo. So, once nakabalik tayo doon sa pinaka first stitch, maglalagay pa tayo ng 2 pang half double crochet. And then, slip stitch natin siya on top of that first half double crochet na nilagay natin to connect the ends. So, once na-connect na natin, maglalagay na tayo ng ating first lace. So, chain 75. Once na-complete na natin yung chain 75, slip stitch lang natin siya pabalik doon sa pinaka-first chain. So, slip stitch lang tayo hanggang makabalik tayo doon sa pinakadulo. So, once narating na natin yung pinakadulo, gagawin natin, maglalagay lang tayo ng single crochet para makatawid tayo so we can cross to the other side or to the other end. So, para makarating tayo dito sa pinakadulo. And then, gagawin lang natin ulit yung lace doon sa kabilang side and then single crochet ulit. So, ulitin lang natin yan. Now, once na-complete nyo na yun, ilalak lang and cut the excess yarn. Now, we're going to make the button. So, ito yung magiging design sa ating headband. Make a slip knot. And then, chain 3. After that, dun sa ating pinaka-first chain, maglalagay tayo ng 6 na single crochet. Now, after ng 6 single crochet, i-connect lang natin yung 2 ends using a slip stitch. Isi-slip stitch lang natin on top of the first single crochet. Now for row 2, we're going to chain 1 and then make 2 single crochet on each stitch. Paikot hanggang marating natin yung kabilang dulo. So once na complete na natin siya, i-connect ulit natin yung 2 ends using a slip stitch. And then for row 3, chain 1 and then make 2 double crochet on the first stitch and then 1 double crochet on the next stitch. Not 1 double crochet, sorry. 2 single crochet on the first stitch and then 1 single crochet on the next stitch. Sorry. And then ulitin lang natin yan hanggang marating natin yung pinakadulo. So once na complete na natin yung ring, slip stitch ulit natin siya to connect the ends and then lock and cut the excess yarn. Now just use the same pattern to make another button. So pag meron na tayong dalawang button, itatahi lang natin siya using the needle doon sa magkabilang side. At yan, tapos na ating headband. Now, ito na yung finished project natin for Cinderella Inspired Baby Dress. Please don't forget to subscribe to Root and Stitch.